everybody, welcome back to Rondell Designs. If it's your first time here, this video series is a series of 9 that I used to actually sell as an online course but have decided to give them away for free. So each module in the series of 9 will help you get your business off the ground, turn it from a hobby to a business. Module 6 is all about where are you going to sell your products, okay? So I'll go through different things like markets, your own website, Etsy, all that sort of stuff. If you want to go back and look at the other videos, go into my channel. On the playlist section, there is Turn Your Hobby into a Business in 30 Days. So that's where all the other previous videos are living. And subscribe to my channel to see the rest of the series, which will be uploaded over the next few days. Hello and welcome to module 6. So in this module, it's all about setting up shop. So what you need to do first of all is decide where you're going to sell from. So are you going to have a website? Are you going to sell on a third-party platform such as Etsy, eBay, madeit.com.au, which is like an Australian version of Etsy, just for Australian sellers? Are you going to do both? I do both. So I have an Etsy shop. I have a website, which I host on Shopify. And I also have a second Etsy shop, which is just for my digital download products. So I have a selection of art prints or digital prints that I've created where I sell them as printables. So Etsy has a great feature where if you're not selling a physical product, you can upload the file when you're making the listing. And then when people buy that digital product, they have access to it immediately. So you don't have to do anything. So you do that initial listing, then it's basically passive income every time you sell it after that. So that's a great option if you are a maker, an artist or an illustrator and wanting like an alternative income stream where you don't actually have to make physical products. So yeah, I sell both on Etsy and my website. There's pros and cons to both. Etsy, obviously you've got a bigger audience. So you've got a much bigger audience to get your product in front of. The downside is that as well as your products, there's lots of other similar products out there by other sellers. So they might be distracted and go to another seller. And also you don't own your customers' information, although you can contact them through the platform. But when you've got your own website, you can set up your own email marketing list so you can get your customers' details. So when you want to send them out newsletters and stuff like that, it's much more secure when it's on your own website. You own that content, not dependent on what that third-party platform's doing. You're not paying fees per sale and commissions and things like that. But obviously it's more work because you have to set up a whole website. Probably the most popular website platform is Wordpress. So a lot of designers and tech people recommend Wordpress. It's free. However, you have to obviously pay to have your website hosted. So you've got to get a hosting company. I used to use Bluehost when my website was on WordPress. And although WordPress is amazing and there's so many tutorials out there to help you set it up and you can do it yourself, I felt like it was like learning a foreign language. And I just never really felt 100% comfortable when I was using WordPress, and I would end up having to pay people to do things for me that I couldn't do for myself. So towards the end of 2019, I actually made the decision to change over from WordPress to Shopify for my website. Shopify, you do pay a monthly fee. I think it's $30 US, so it converts to around $45-50 Australian, depending on what the currency rate is doing. I just love Shopify though. It's so easy to use. It took me, probably 3 days. Still really frustrating setting up a website if you're not tech savvy. So I still, it was really quite tricky, but much easier for me than WordPress. And Shopify, so WordPress has plugins, which you can add in like an e-commerce shopping cart. Shopify has that all set up, but you can add in apps. So you've got like Australia Post apps, which makes it really easy if you're getting a lot of orders. You can add in like printable digital download product app to sell through your website on Shopify. There's lots of different things you can get. So at the end of the day, it's really what you're more comfortable with. There's nothing wrong with starting up on a third-party platform like Etsy or eBay or Madeit. A lot of people only sell through Etsy and they have huge success, but I think it's probably great to have a mixture if you can, but yeah, no pressure. Or just have a website and just focus on that, only that, put all your work into that, and you can get it to be a success as well because you'll start driving your customers there through your social media and markets and things. The other thing you might want to do is just start selling on your social platform. So you'll see in the description of this module, I talked about that a little bit. Some people I know literally just sell through Facebook. Now, I don't recommend that as a long-term solution for your business because you are so not in control of what Facebook does and doesn't do, and they might decide for some reason to shut your page down. You don't know what's going to happen. However, for a short-term solution to get started, it could be a great option. It's fairly straightforward setting up a shop on Facebook. You have to have a Facebook page set up. That's a great way to start promoting and getting that out there. Another way is through Facebook groups. Depending on your niche, quite a few groups on Facebook, some of them let you sell directly through the group. So I have a couple of friends who are into junk journaling. I'm a little bit into it. I've only just started, but I don't seem to have time for it hardly ever. And I noticed you can sell through some of those groups directly, and it's a great way to make some quick sales. Like if you've got a niche and there's a particular group for that niche, jump in there. And even if you're not allowed to sell, sometimes you can. People will say, oh, have you got any ideas of what to buy for this person or this person? You can sometimes put links in there. There's groups such as For the Love of Handmade Australia. I'm on that group, and there's a few others like Handmade Mums, similar type groups, and you can sometimes promote your products on there. So you've also got Facebook Marketplace, which I briefly mentioned. Great way to just get exposure even if people aren't buying. I have sold some products through Facebook Marketplace that are new and handmade. So some of my eye pillows often do well on there. My art and my wheat bags and stuff really don't do well on there. But some of the things I buy in wholesale, like planters and things, they will often do well. Or if I've hand painted a pot and put some succulents in it, they do well. Or just use Marketplace to sell heaps of your secondhand stuff. If you're having a house clean out, you need some money to invest into your business. Great way to do that. Just a little side tip there. And the other option, of course, is markets. Now, markets are a beast within themselves. You don't want to fully rely on markets, especially in this time when it's still quite unpredictable as far as COVID goes. And if we were to go into a lockdown or higher restrictions again, and then you can't do your markets, and that's the only way you're making your money, it's probably not sustainable. So I highly recommend having online, in person. If I'm going to pick one or the other, I'm going to go with online because you can do it from anywhere. You can do it from home. You can do it from when you're traveling. You can do it anywhere. So obviously, if you've got physical products to pack and send, you need to have a base. But markets are a great way to test out your products, your pricing, customer demographics. So doing a few different types of markets, like more high-end designer markets and even just local little farmers market or trash and treasure style markets sometimes. I've done actually every type of market you can do. And it's really interesting the feedback you get. And it can be quite interesting when you think something as market's not going to be great and it turns out to be great, and vice versa. You pay a lot of money to do these big fancy inner city markets and sometimes doesn't convert into sales. So it's definitely an investment of time, money, effort, and energy to get into the market scene. But done well, you can get to know what markets are a good fit for you and your products. Then when you've got a new product to release, putting it out at the market first is so great because people can touch and feel. You can literally watch them reacting to your product and your prices, and so fantastic. I haven't done markets for ages, and I really was cutting them out completely out of my business, to be quite honest. However, I found that markets are so good for productivity. So if I've got a market coming up, I'll work so hard like that week before just getting heaps of products made. I'm finding that I'm actually missing that forced motivation, that forced deadline. So I'm currently now looking at getting back into maybe just doing one market a month or once a quarter. So I will always apply for Finders Keepers Market, which is a really big one. It costs a lot of money to have a stall, but people go there to shop, not just to look. And I pretty much can guarantee that if I have a stall at Finders Keepers, even if it costs me $1,200, I'll probably make several thousand. And the other one I'm looking at now is the Rose Street Market in Melbourne. So that's just a little one. It's about $80 a stall. I'm thinking about trying that out just once a month, just to get back into that market vibe, testing out new products in front of people, seeing what they're like, seeing what their reactions are like, seeing what they think of prices and stuff. So yeah, lots of options for you. Just get started. Start, and then you can change your mind down the track. So if you want to start with Etsy and then down the track you decide not for you, totally fine. But where you put your effort, that's where you will see the success. So if you really commit to setting up your website and going all in, you will eventually get the success. And I will also add, don't just focus on the products that are going to sell and make money for you. I did that when I first started, and looking back now, I've had this current business for 6 years, Rondell Designs. I'm at a point now where I'm so sick of sewing, because my main product is the wheat bags and eye pillows, which are I get my artwork printed onto fabric and then hand sew everything. I'm so sick of sewing, and I'm so sick of actually that being my main product. And I look back now and think, wow, if I'd just taken it a bit slower, not been in such a rush to get into profit, and really focused on my original artworks and my prints and my cards, which is what I love the most. I love just painting and making art. I feel like 6 years down the track, I could well be quite a well-known artist by now and selling my artworks for quite a lot of money, and I would have developed my art style so much more than I have, because I get so busy sewing bloody wheat bags. So really think about that when you're just at the start. What do you really want to be doing long term? And let that be your driving force, and know that it will be successful over time as you develop and hone in on your technique and your skills, and knowing where to sell and how to sell and who to sell to, rather than just going for that quick, yeah, this is good money making part of my business. So just be aware of that. So I hope this module has been helpful to get you pointed in the right direction. I really want you to get your stuff set up, because the next module is all about linking everything. So whether you're going to have a website or an Etsy shop or whatever on a third-party platform, figure that out, get it set up, get your domain name all linked up to your website. I'm not going to run you through that, because I'm not an expert, and frankly there are so many videos on YouTube where you can say how to set up my Shopify store, how to set up my Squarespace store. And also remember the live chat, guys. All these website platforms now have amazing live chat, and it's usually 24 hours. You can ask the dumbest questions and they'll just walk you through it. Sometimes they'll even, with your permission, get into your system and do it for you if you're just like, oh, I can't do it. So use the live chat. They're fantastic. And I will see you in module 7, where we're linking everything up.